Welcome back live to St. John Arena, Columbus, Ohio. The United States and the Soviet Union, a dual meet. We are in a warm-up period as the balance beam continues. Coach Kevin Brown talking to 15-year-old Brandy Johnson, who leads in the all-around competition after 2 rotations. Phoebe Mills is not here. Shelley Stack is not here. 2 other prominent names, but someone else is not here. Christy Phillips. I caught up with her last weekend in Vail. At 16, she is retired. At 14, she was to be the next star, but before that could happen, Christy's body changed. She added weight, and this biological betrayal had terrible timing, for this was the vision of a teenager realizing her Olympic dream was not to be.
During the whole process of the working out and everything, it was very difficult for me because we were training around 9 hours a day, and I was on a very strict diet. I didn't eat hardly anything, you know, because I wanted to keep my weight down, because that was the whole problem. You know, people just blew it out of proportion, I think, because it just really hurt me, because I had to spend so much time just trying to be like a little toothpick and then still try to keep my strength up to be able to do everything. And that was the hardest part, working every day and not really having energy to go forth and do it.
This was once Christy's life, but now there are new plans that may give a sad story a happy ending.
I'd like to go to either UCLA or LSU, you know, for doing cheerleading, because I love to cheerlead, because I get to yell and scream and jump around and, you know, use my gymnastics abilities. And I'd like to study, and maybe my next lifetime dream would be to become an actress. And if that fails, I'd like to go into sports medicine.
Bella called tomorrow and said, Christy, I want you to come back. We're going to be the greatest. We're going to work hard. We're going to do it again. We begged you to come back and go into the gym. What would you do?
I'm having a lot of fun right now, and I'm experiencing new things that I've never experienced before. I mean, not bad things, but, you know, just life itself. And it's just physically very hard. I have a broken wrist, and I have back problems just coming out of my head. And it's very hard physically. Mentally, I think I can handle it, but not physically.
Others perform where Christy once did, but she'll still be rooting for them.
I'm glad they're still in it. I'm glad that they can hold up and keep on, because I know how hard it is for them, how much stress and pressure it is, and I'll be pulling for them 100%.
It's quite a story as Brandy Johnson still prepares for her balance beam routine. Christy Phillips was in Vail, Colorado last week. Kathy Rigby-McCoy and I had a chance to watch her in a very special figure skating gymnastics combined performance that you will see soon on ABC's Wide World of Sports. And the pressure that we've so often talked about that these young women are placed under really does interesting things to their mind and eventually forces them, in this case, to just pull away.
Well, it's unfortunate. You know, when you start out at such a young age, at the age of 6 and 7 years old, and the coaches are pretty much telling you how to think and not so much how to feel, but they have a lot of control in your life, and sometimes that gets to be a bit too much. And when you finally get out of the sport and you're able to have your own feelings and thoughts and get on with your life, sometimes it's a real positive.
So the competition resumes now with Svetlana Baitova of the Soviet Union from Mogilev, one of the leaders of this team. At the age of 16, she's one of the, well, you'd have to say, stars. Unfortunately, she was overshadowed by names like Shushanova and Boganskaya.
And yet a consistent team member. She doesn't have quite the sparkle of the Shushanova or the Omelianchik, but she's tremendously talented, especially in the area of balance beam and floor exercise. She's elegant, she's flexible, she's strong, and she has a very risky opening front flip mount.
This is a very important routine for those of you following the fortunes of Brandy Johnson, because the gymnast right behind her in the all-around race is Baitova. Her routine.
Now, the movements that you just saw, the 3 jumps in a row, are one of the new requirements on the balancing, the gymnastic elements or the dance elements. That's where the judges are stressing. There's her acrobatic tumbling movement, also a requirement.
I understand that we've temporarily lost our picture here live from Columbus, Ohio. Whoops, there we're back.
a new requirement also is the gymnasts change levels on the balance beam. Now, what we mean by this is that her body actually gets down on the beam. The move you just saw where she did a back handspring chest roll, that will fulfill that requirement. And there again, the full turn, which is another requirement. Great concentration.
Yet another one of the female gymnasts who is a collector of stuffed animals. The stuffed animal stores just love it when the gymnastic tours roll into town.
And here's her dismount. Triple twist, and she lands it very well. In the Coda point, that is the most difficult move that you can do. That is a D. Plus 2/10 for originality. A D2 is what it's called. You can see that she's right on her feet, hit square on that balance beam. Lots of lift. She starts her twist very early so she can get around 3 whole times.
She needs a 9.65 to take the all-around lead, and we'll have that score when we return.
I think at a certain point you get a little crazy about your car. I mean,